Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my friends, and welcome back to the Cozy Club. Now, I have to admit, I'm much more excited about the Snow White event and all of them coming to the game than I once thought. You see, when I think of Snow White, it doesn't exactly, how you say, bring excitement to my life. Like, after all, it's been the better part of over, I don't know, half my life since I've dusted off Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and candidly, I haven't seen it in a long time. However, seeing Grumpy and Sneezy come into the game got me pretty pumped, not only with their kits and how good I think the team is going to be and how interesting of an event this is going to be. I have a lot to say on that, but in true Disney nostalgic magic, it got me excited to see the characters again, and I think they've got a lot of personality, and it's going to be a lot of fun to play as hopefully all 7 of the different dwarfs. We're going to go ahead and check out our first impressions and reactions of both Sneezy and Grumpy and how I think all the dwarfs are going to work together. But on top of that, we're going to break down how I think this event is going to roll out, and is Snow White the legendary or the evil queen? Let's jump into it. Alrighty, Cozy Club. So yesterday we broke down the entire update for the Snow White event, and it looks more and more like we're going to get all 7 of the miners and all 7 of the dwarfs for the Snow White event. However, this makes this entire legendary event very interesting. Now, I honestly can't tell who's going to be the legendary character that we're going to get, but this entire event is very different and strange than really anything that we've seen before. Now, first of all, over here in the side campaign, we have the access to go ahead and farm Sneezy and Grumpy. And as you guys can see, we have both of those characters in the grand campaign farm, followed by another 5 nodes here, which is very interesting. And, you know, basic math tells us that's going to be all 7 of the 7 dwarfs, you know, being available in each of these nodes. And then again, coming over here, we've got Sneezy and Grumpy, and then another 5 spaces. So that means we're going to get 7 new characters, which is insane. Even with Maleficent having 10 required to get her, it was people we already had before. And with all this being said, this is very different than anything that we've seen before, getting 7 new characters all at once. Now, first of all, the miners are going to be their own faction, which we have seen from this, and we're going to break down these kits here in a moment. But what I want to go ahead and state is, I think the dwarfs are going to be really good separately, like all together separately, and then they're going to be on a whole nother level with Snow White involved. And we did get Snow White confirmed, and we'll get to that here in a moment. One other thing I want to bring y'all's attention to, we know we're going to get the 7, okay? But the other thing that's kind of interesting is within the store, we've got this mining duo bundle. Now, next to that, it has seasonal event right here, which is kind of interesting. In the past, we have seen like Wreck-It Ralph and even it's a legendary event at times, but still it's a little weird they're labeling this a seasonal event, and it's kind of just different than what we've seen before. So I don't know, you tell me, comment down below, what does your gut tell you? Are we getting Evil Queen as the fairest of them all is the name of the event, or are we getting Snow White as a legendary? I think Snow White makes more sense, but either way, it's looking like we're getting a pretty much complete new faction of all the miners, and we're gonna just have a lot coming at us. It's gonna be great for beginners because there's a lot of early farms. You're gonna be able to buff up the princess team, and then we're gonna add in most likely a powerful villain in the Evil Queen. Now, with all of that out of the way, with that confusing Snow White event, we're gonna just have to wait and see. But let's go ahead and look at the first impressions of both Grumpy and Sneezy and how I think the dwarfs are going to work all together. Now, starting off with the most notorious and probably infamous of the 7 dwarves, it's going to be Grumpy. Now, I got to give credit where credit is due, because Glue is really great at bringing kind of a Disney feel to all of the kits within the game, giving nods to the movies and also making them feel like the characters that they are. So we've got Grumpy, who obviously isn't a happy guy. That's why he's not named Happy. And his kit overall, he is going to be the offense powerhouse for the dwarves team. Now, assuming we get all 7, they're saying he's the one that is going to hit the hardest. And you can see that here with the way his kit works. Now, as far as we can tell so far, the miners are going to have very similar kits. They're going to have the same name, basic, and first couple of specials, with the passive being different. Now, within all of these abilities, they're going to have something unique to them that they bring to the complete team. We're going to be going through Grumpy's and Sneezy's kit, but you can see they have the same icons with the passives being different. Now, Cozy Club, what is crazy to me is this new kind of harmful / neutral effect that they're all going to be able to inflict and share, and that is called Break. Now, right now, when you click on Break, it doesn't really show what it does. However, we've been confirmed that Break is going to have the target get dealt 5% more damage every time they are hit, and they're going to have 5% less tenacity. Now, this is going to stack up to 7 for a total of 35% more damage taken from the enemy, and then on top of that, they're going to have negative 35% tenacity. However, opposed to other harmful effects like slow and offense down, you're not going to have this thing decrease with its value. So if you continue to throw on breaks, they're going to continue to stack throughout the battle, going up all the way to 7. And why this is crazy is these guys are going to be single-handedly by each team an MVP. I mean, imagine throwing on 7 stacks of break with Grumpy or Sneezy on your Ian team, having Ian deal, I don't know, 35% more damage, or stacking negative 35% tenacity on the pesky Rock Titan. Now, altogether, they're going to be a great raid team, but separately, they're going to be phenomenal plug and plays. All right, so we got the craziness that is Break, the newest harmful effect, out of the way. Let's check out Grumpy's kit first. Now, starting off with Dig, Dig, Dig. Grumpy is going to be one of the new kind of elite basic attack dealing damagers within the game. He's going to have a solid basic attack dealing great damage. We'll go check out on dsa.fan here in a moment. But then on top of that, he'll be dealing extra bonus damage per harmful effect on that target. Again, pairing him up with something like Machine Gun Hades is going to be nasty, up to a max of 70%. And then on top of that, that's going to go ahead and stack with Break as well. So now you're over the 100% mark of bonus damage. Now, this character will not assist teammates other than Snow White. Again, love this little kind of nod to Grumpy and his character. They're like Disneyfying all of this by saying Grumpy, he's like, I don't want to help others out. I'm only here for me. And then I guess Snow White. Looking at tier 9, Grumpy, this is where the magic happens, guys. He's dealing up to 4,000 damage per attack with all that bonus stacking damage. And this is where things get crazy. First of all, he's going to be doing a basic attack a lot with all of his abilities. And then just by being called from whatever counterattacks come from his passive, he's going to have offense up. And he's just going to deal a heck of a lot of damage continuously. Even though he's only assisting off Snow White, the guy is going to be laying out some haymakers. Next up, it's Off to Work. This is the hi-ho, hi-ho. It's off to work we go. And you're going to have Grumpy giving offense up to himself, which is going to be a great way to deal even more bonus damage from that basic. Miner's teammates are going to gain 15% speed meter, going up to 20% with an upgrade, and then 25% chance for this character to perform a basic attack on the opponent with the most harmful effects. So a lot happening here, a lot of things to buff up, not only himself, but the other miners around him. And this is what I mean by the miners are going to work way better in numbers. The dwarfs all have similar abilities, bringing their own taste to the team, and they only have one special, but it's what they need to do to get their specific job done. All right, now we've got the first passive, and this gets me excited for the potential of the other kits of the 7 dwarfs. Now, you have at the start of the battle, grant 25 bonus offense to all the miner teammates. This lasts until Grumpy dies, and on the miner's teammate receiving offense down, he also has a chance to cleanse it. Now, this is going to go up to 35% bonus offense, and each of them are going to bring their own thing, like I said before, with the offense powerhouse going into Grumpy. Great passive, and it's going to be cool to see what they can all bring to the battlefield. Now, with the last passive of Grumpy, you have Troubles a Brewin'. Once per turn, when this character takes damage or an allied Snow White takes damage, you're going to have a chance to counterattack with that great basic ability. And so Grumpy is going to be bringing all the damage for his fellas, and then the fellas are going to be bringing something else to the table. Which brings us to Sneezy. Now, if you bring your audio all the way up in the game, they actually pulled the same sound effect from the movie of him sneezing, and they're going off that kind of, you never know when a sneeze is going to happen. And again, just like Grumpy, this is going to be easy to go through these kits of these guys because they're all very similar. We have the same dig, 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 off to work, yodelay-hee-hoo, and it's coming being his own passive. Now, looking at the basic dig, 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 you're going to have a lot of breaks starting to affect The opponent, like I said, is messed up. It's not showing at the moment, but these are going to stack up to 7 very quickly. So it's going to be interesting that in the raid, do you want to put them in the same team or separated? Either way, they're a great farm, whether you decide to go for the new legendary or not, or if they're even in a legendary overall. Now, next up, yet again, we do have off to work, but there are some subtle differences here. Now, first of all, he'll be granting unstoppable to himself instead of offense up. And the minor teammates, yet again, will be getting extra speed turn meter up to an additional 5%. So that's going to go up to 25%. And the minors are going to just keep on giving themselves buffs, but then giving everybody else on the field turn meter. So Hercules is going to have a heyday in Beast with all the turn meter gain, but the Unstoppable will be great to allow Sneezy to do his thing. And that's going to take us to his first passive. Now, what I like about him and his role on the team is at the start of the battle, grant a bonus 30%, up to 40% chance to hit critical shots for all of the miners and all of the dwarfs on the team. This lasts until Sneezy dies. That's a whopping bonus to crit chance. And we're going to see a lot of assisting here because outside of Grumpy, you're going to have all the breaks going on and you're going to have all the assisting, it looks like, from the other dwarfs. Now, that's just the salad. Here's the dessert. On the minor teammates receiving silence, 25% chance to cleanse it. So a little bit of an Esmeralda light there. And again, him bringing his own thing. And we're going to have to look at all of them together and who offers more to the team of 5. Now, lastly, we have It's Coming, his passive, and this is the big sneeze that he's going to do. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. You can take that to 2. It's going to deal about 1,000 damage once it's maxed out, but the character is going to have a chance to purge 1 helpful effect from all of the enemies on the field. It can happen every 2 turns. That's pretty dang good. So that's just a little bit of a taste of the overall team and what these two are going to be bringing to the entire team of the 7 dwarfs. And it's exciting. I think I'm really excited to see what Happy, Doc, even Bashful and Dopey, what do they offer and who's going to be the 5 that you want to have on your team, or maybe can Snow White summon the other ones. It's going to be interesting. Like I said before, when you first look at the kits, doesn't look that interesting. We have no idea what kind of event this is going to be, but all I know is they're going to be phenomenal within the raid. They're great even if you're not going after the legendaries. You might be able to make an all dwarfs team opposed to the Princess Snow White, which, you know, we thought would be the feature of this patch, but now it could be Evil Queen. There's a lot to break down. I'm excited to cover all the kids. I am going to wait for them to all come out before I get a tier list or a farming guide out, but I definitely recommend going for Grumpy first and seeing where it goes from there. Altogether, 2 thumbs up for these 2 dwarfs. I think they're going to be very powerful, and we're going to have a lot to cover over the next coming week or so, it looks like. Alrighty, my friends, if you haven't already, go ahead and consider subscribing to the Cozy Club today, and until next time, stay cozy.